of the big concerns with these piles.
Yeah, the warm, dry weather could lead to more fires. Fox 4 meteorologist Andrew Shipley is tracking that part of the story.
Yeah, guys, in fact, a national agency that tracks fire conditions across the country has traced the risk of directly back to the massive amount of debris Hurricane Ian has left behind. Now, today, all of Southwest Florida's counties are either in moderate to high fire risk. Now, as someone that's gone through Wildland Fire School, I wanted to take a look back at what Hurricane Michael did and the lessons that we can learn from the wildfires after Michael and how we can prepare for it now after Ian.
2018, Hurricane Michael's catastrophic impact left behind massive amounts of debris that could burn in an instant. The risk for more and stronger fires dramatically increased.
Additional fuels on the ground because of the hurricane that's driving that increase in fire behavior.
Michael's wildfire impact is something director of the University of Florida's Southern Fire Exchange, Dr. David Godwin, has been studying.
That increase in fire behavior means those wildfires are harder to manage. They're harder to control. They're harder to put out. It takes more time. It takes more people. It takes more equipment. And at the same time, it puts those first responders at increased personal risk.
For perspective, take a look at the Florida Forest Service's numbers. Normally, burnable material is supposed to be 10 tons per acre. After Michael, it increased 10 times to 100 tons per acre.
All of a sudden, they're finding propane tanks and tires and gas tanks and refrigerators and boats, all these things that had been washed into their stands and are now making prescribed fire management in those cases, much more complicated and actually dangerous.
Similarities after Ian. Our Skyfox drone is seen across Southwest Florida. Historic surge and post-flooding littered the region with debris, and that was then swept into mangroves, wetlands, and forests, and that was on top of hundreds of acres of damaged trees, debris, and salt-cured fuels. Like on Sanibel.
The fuel loading in these areas, as you can see, is quite increased, and the difficulty for accessing these areas is also increased.
Something that Florida Forest Service's Michael Harris has seen firsthand. The mitigation specialist had been fighting fires for years, says Ian's aftermath is unlike what he's seen from past tropical systems, including 2017's Irma.
A lot more blowdown on this one. There's a lot higher fuel loading.
And Harris says, like Michael, that fuel loading will likely impact the next several Southwest Florida fire seasons.
Upcoming dry season, your leaves and your small twigs and stuff like that and limbs are going to contribute to the increased fire activity or potential for increased fire activity. The next 2 years after that, your second and third year, the larger trees will be a component of that. They'll be drying out, and they could also add to the potential for an increased fire season as well.
But Harris says lowering that fire risk is complicated. Using hand crews and machinery to clear debris means lots of money and time. And Southwest Florida's population density also makes prescribed burns difficult.
It's challenging for smoke management, access, and also you're dealing with fire that's coming right up to houses and homes and condominiums and stuff in small residential areas as well.
Now, Harris says that you can do your part advising the public to clean up your property of debris left behind from Hurricane Ian, as well as cleaning out your gutters and basically all that leaf litter around your house before we get into fire season. Now, typically fire season runs between February and May. Directly involved are dry months as we transition into our daily afternoon sea breeze storms, guys.